Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Stratus Forecast Weather here once again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the latest patterns for weather, and we're going to be going over latest updates. And we're also going to be going over the aurora borealis forecast as well as a bunch of other things. So yeah, let's get right into this. So, alright, so we are taking a look at the radar and satellite right now. Right now it is looking like the northeast is dealing with a windstorm. As you can see, wind advisories have been issued for much of the entire state of Maine, portions of southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts, as well as northern Connecticut, as well as Rhode Island and Cape Cod. This is for wind gusts between 45 and 55 miles per hour for much of the region. The only side that's not really experiencing as high as wind gusts will be eastern Maine, which will only see wind gusts between 45 and 50 miles per hour. Massachusetts is issued for a high wind watch as well. Forecast models are suggesting that this could be a damaging wind event. Wind gusts could be gust as high as 65 miles per hour. The overall pattern right now is very quiet, and you probably saw that on the forecast models. We have a low pressure system that's bringing rain to portions of Nova Scotia. This is the same system that brought the rain yesterday, and behind it is very strong winds out of the northwest. Across portions of the northern plains, we are experiencing a mixture of snow and mixed precipitation, particularly probably in the higher elevations. And heavy rain is being experienced in portions of Montana. A high wind watch is also in effect for portions of Great Falls area and northern Montana for wind gusts as high as, 60 miles per hour. The weather otherwise is very quiet. We're not seeing much of anything. A little bit of a low pressure system, atmospheric river conditions, bringing atmospheric river conditions straight into the Pacific Northwest, with snow and rain being felt in many areas, and high winds as well. Wind advisories and high wind warnings are up for portions of Nevada, Oregon, and portions of southwestern Oregon, as well as California, northern California. Very windy, expecting wind gusts between 35 and 45 miles per hour, and gusts could be as high as 45 to 55 miles per hour in the Delta area. In Eureka, high wind warnings are in effect for wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. So yeah, take that seriously. That's very high winds. Now we're going to get into the forecast models. All right, so right now we're experiencing rain and snow happening in portions of the northwestern U.S. and that system bombing out in portions of Nova Scotia. As we go into the next couple of days, we're going to see a wave of precipitation, and you've probably seen this. This pattern looks pretty familiar. Classic La Nina pattern in positive PNA, bringing a system going through the northeast on Wednesday into Thursday, bringing potentially mixed precipitation and high winds, especially portions of Massachusetts and southern New England. Another system can be expected for portions of the northeast going through Saturday with rain, and another system is possible throughout Monday. I could also see a localized severe weather threat going on in portions of the Ohio Valley area. The other big thing we're going to see is drastic temperatures after this cold front goes through. Temperatures throughout the weekend could be as low as 40s and 30s for portions of northern New England, and winter is coming. So if we look at portions of Canada, we can see this is what you call a weak polar vortex, where it is able to release multiple waves of cold air and polar vortex temperatures. We also have a severe weather threat for portions of southern New England and the Ohio Valley for portions of Wednesday into Thursday. This is particularly for gusty to potentially damaging winds. There is a marginal risk in effect. So as far as the severe weather threat goes for Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like we're going to have a cold front that comes through with potentially heavy mixed precipitation for portions of northern New England and heavy rain going through portions of interior. We're going to see this extra line come through, the cold front itself, come through with a batch of scattered showers and thunderstorms. And when this comes through, you could experience some gusty winds. If we line this up, this is around 5:23Z Wednesday. You can see these winds, this wind shear coming in from the north, coming in from the west. This is the area that needs to be watched. And I would not be surprised if they issue a severe weather being issued for parts of Pennsylvania and southern southwestern portions of New York. This could definitely issue a slight risk of severe weather. And what's crazy about this is this should not be happening in November, but we're seeing temperatures with this warm front, cold front coming through. Temperatures out ahead of it could be as high as 50 to 60 degrees, and the dew points are going to be favorable, slightly favorable for severe weather, but not in the form of anything significant, as dew points are only going to be in the 40s and 50s, which is just barely really criteria for severe weather. Now, I'm going to look farther out in the future to see what we could potentially deal with. So here's where cold air is being wafted up. It looks like a very weak La Nina, neutral conditions almost. Well, I think we're going to see multiple waves of cold air coming through within the next 1 to 2 months, with multiple waves, and it only gets worse as we get into portions of December. And since this jet stream is so flexible, we could see multiple wet rounds of winter storms, multiple of them. This is a classic La Nina / weak La Nina pattern with a positive PNA, which allows colder air in portions of the northeast and northern U.S., while warmer air is being filtered through portions of the Pacific Northwest, the Central Plains, as well as down through the western half of the country and the southwest. Now on to the aurora forecast. So we have no aurora forecast for the next 2 days. Thursday will be the next time frame we could potentially see a geomagnetic storm. That would be a G1 geomagnetic storm. We have tonight's aurora forecast is a very weak auroras, but as you can see, as you know, we can always see substorms. Then on tomorrow's, it gets elevated slightly due to probably more enhanced geomagnetic conditions. Again, substorms can increase this. It looks like just a KB3 index. Now let's get into the fun stuff. So this is the solar flares. So we have had multiple solar flares, multiple M-class solar flares, close to even R2 class flares. And this has been all fueled by one particular sunspot region. And that sunspot region is the one on the sun right here, 4274, region 4724. It has been highlighted in red. This one is really the one to watch because the polarity of this and kind of the offsetting, the blues and the reds are close to each other, meaning that this could potentially be a very active region. As you can see, X solar flares, which is G3 plus storming, moderate class flares, which is at a 60%. The X class flare is at a 10% already, which this was only a 5% risk, and then obviously C class flares are 90%. I do expect this region to really get active because if we look at a post, which I don't have, by the Space Weather Prediction Center themselves, it shows it shows this region being alarmed off. And the reason to it is we have a coronal hole right next to it. So the sunspot region is over here, but it could technically, as far as I know, the coronal hole and the sunspot region could set each other off, which means this week would really be the week to watch whether or not we actually see geomagnetic storming conditions. And I really do think that's a possibility. That's all I have for you guys. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to never miss an upload. And without further ado, we will see you in the next one. Bye.